We spend our lives chasing it, saving it, and investing it. But what if the very thing we call money, the dollar, the euro, the yen, suddenly failed? Not a recession, not a crash, but a collapse of confidence where paper currency becomes truly worthless. It's a terrifying thought, but as the ancientist, I look to history. The fall of the Roman denarius, the Weimar Republic's mark, or even the recent bank crises. These events offer a brutal yet essential lesson. When the system of value breaks down, what truly holds its worth? Today, we dig into the ancient roots of value to find out what survives when money fails. First, let's understand why modern money is so fragile. Most of our currency is fiat money. It's not backed by gold or silver, only by government decree and, more importantly, public trust. Money is essentially a highly efficient IOU, a promise to pay for goods or services later. When that trust evaporates, due to war, debt, or catastrophic events, the abstract value of fiat money collapses. Credit cards, digital banking, stocks, and bonds become immediately useless because they rely entirely on the surrounding infrastructure and legal system that has just failed. You can't eat a stock certificate. You can't trade a bond for a loaf of bread. This financial liquidity we cherish vanishes. So, if your assets are purely digital or paper-based, you are exposed. The immediate response to monetary collapse is a swift return to the oldest forms of trade, barter and commodity money. Barter is the direct trade of a good or service for another good or service. A goat for 3 sacks of grain. It appears quickly, especially in localized short-term disasters. But it has a huge flaw, what economists call the double coincidence of wants. I have shoes, you have grain. I need grain. You need, well, a haircut. Our trade can't happen unless I can find a barber who needs shoes and is willing to exchange his service for my shoes and then trade his haircut service to you for your grain. It's inefficient and local. This is where commodity money steps in. These are goods with intrinsic value that almost everyone needs. Food, water, medicine, fuel, and alcohol. Historically, salt, tea, or even cattle have served this purpose. In a crisis, the new commodity money is practical. Small denominations of cash for short-term purchases, preserved food, clean water filters, and essential medical supplies. These are instantly liquid, surviving the first wave of financial shock. Now, let's address the elephant in the vault. Physical precious metals, specifically gold. For centuries, gold was the ultimate store of value. But what happens when money fails? In a partial economic collapse, where markets still function, gold and silver will likely maintain or surge in value, acting as a stable, non-currency-tied asset. However, in a complete societal or infrastructural collapse, gold's value plummets. It's heavy, non-liquid, and a massive liability. Who has the scale and chemical kit to assay a gold bar in a crisis? It makes you a target, and it is entirely useless in an immediate survival situation. Silver coins, or what are called junk silver, are slightly better because they are divisible and recognizable, but even they are secondary. The real tangible assets that survive are those that are consumed or used. Think of a reliable tool, a comprehensive first aid kit, a few weeks' supply of essential food, or even the small denomination of cash that a local, short-term economy needs before it rebuilds. Value, in this phase, is measured in utility, not density. If commodities are the new currency, then skills are the new gold. When the infrastructure that connects us fails, the ability to do things becomes the highest value asset. This is a lesson from every major crisis, from the Great Depression to regional disasters. We can break down the most recession-proof and collapse-proof skills into 3 core categories. First, production and repair. Can you fix a broken water pipe? Can you weld or perform basic electrical repairs? Can you mend clothing or repair tools? In an economy where you can't buy a new one, the person who can repair the old one holds immense value. Think about plumbing, mechanics, and carpentry. These are the practical, hands-on trades. Second, sustenance. This is the most ancient skill of all: food production. Small-scale gardening, composting, seed saving, preserving food through canning or curing meat. The ability to generate calories and ensure clean water is non-negotiable for survival. The person with a small, thriving garden and water filter is more valuable than the person with a bank full of fiat. Third, health and safety. Medical knowledge, especially trauma care and herbal medicine, will be critical. And finally, the ability to organize and provide community security. These skills are not just job titles. They are fundamental building blocks of a functioning society, and they are immune to any currency collapse. We've talked about money, assets, and skills, but history provides a resounding answer to the core question: what truly survives when money fails? It is, unequivocally, community. In the immediate aftermath of any systemic shock, a natural disaster, a financial panic, a long-term famine, the first, most essential line of defense is the social network around you. An individual prepper with a basement full of canned goods will eventually become a target or simply run out. But a strong, cohesive community multiplies its resources, shares the burden, and diversifies its skill set. In a crisis, trust is the real non-fiat currency. When local money in Egypt failed during the Great Famine, people turned to Joseph, a figure of centralized resource management. But it was the community unit, the family, the tribe that pooled resources and made deals for collective survival. Even today, following disasters, it is the neighbors helping neighbors, the local distribution of supplies, and the establishment of mutual aid that keeps order. The strength of your relationships, the people you can trust, trade with, and rely on for defense will determine your long-term success more than the purity of your gold bar or the balance of your bank account. So, what's the financial ancientist's final takeaway? Prepare for the ancient future. Our global economy is complex, but human needs are fundamentally simple. If you want to hedge against the unthinkable, 1. Maintain immediate liquidity. Keep a small amount of physical small-denomination cash, enough to get you through a short-term infrastructure failure. 2. Invest in utility over pure paper value. Store things that are immediately useful: water purification, long shelf-life food, first aid supplies. 3. Become a master of something tangible. Learn a trade, skill, plumbing, carpentry, basic medicine, or growing food. Skills cannot be devalued or stolen. 4. Most importantly, cultivate your community. Build trust. Be a person of value to others by being reliable and skilled. In the end, the only thing that holds value in all scenarios is the human capacity for cooperation and survival. The failure of money is a reset button, one that strips away abstraction and forces us back to the foundations of human economy. Don't wait for the collapse to discover what you really value. What skills do you think will be the most valuable if money suddenly failed? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this historical deep dive useful, hit that like button, subscribe to the Financial Ancientist, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next lesson from history. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.